Guys, I'm here with Fadiel from the Gatvol Ape-tonian. You reg gesê? Gatvol. Got Gatvol?
Young regulated.
And then you resign.
Yeah.
And then you come back.
Yeah.
Laat eens.
I didn't hear you.
Laat eens. Kom eens resign.
Oh. Ach man, you know what? We're taking a lot of strain. And there's so much going on. Now, to be honest, when we started this thing, I genuinely didn't know what I was getting myself into. I wasn't prepared for the egos, for the agendas, the lies, the backstabbing. It's not who I am. What you see is what you get. Unfortunately, everybody doesn't operate that way. On the day, I just thought, you know what? I've done what I needed to do. Done what I could. Someone else needs to step up. The executive refused my resignation out of hand. Many members phoned me, many members messaged me. My kids told me not to. And that's what, yeah, I'm back.
Okay. Many people were disappointed because there was a lot of sacrifices made. I mean, one of the biggest, despite all the campaigns that you ran throughout the Western Cape, I think for me, one of the biggest campaigns that you ran was when you were sleeping outside Parliament. And we came there, a lot of people came there to support you. And I personally felt that you dropped the ball. You know, for a leader, I felt that you had to explain yourself. Who instigated? Who betrayed you? Are you allowed to speak about that?
I'll bring up that name when the time is right. I'm not going to do that now. Look, you know what? If I disappointed anybody, I do apologize. I give you the undertaking that it will not happen again.
Okay. So it wasn't Nigel that I alluded to.
You alluded to me? No, it wasn't Nigel. Nigel Williams is our campaign manager.
Oh, right.
That's what he is. He's an effective campaign manager. He has nothing to do with politics.
Okay.
He doesn't make political decisions. He manages our campaign. Full stop.
He comes from the ANC?
He does.
How does that sit with you and the people? Are you concerned that he might at some point be an instigator for the ANC?
No.
Not at all?
I have no concern.
You trust him?
Mr. Williams is from the ANC. Mr. Williams is a non-racialist.
Okay.
Mr. Williams, though, does understand that coloured people have been given a raw deal by the ANC that he grew up supporting.
Okay.
Full stop. I do not trust. I do not trust anybody outside of my party. Let me put it like that.
Okay.
I have full faith in Mr. Williams to give us a good election result like the one he did in Delft.
Okay. Now Fadiel, I always watch your posts. I follow you on all your many pages. Fadiel Adams, Fadiel Adams, Fadiel Adams, Fadiel Gatvol Adams, all these
Adams.
Fadiel Ben Adams, the new one. I follow you and I read the content, I read what you're putting out there. You always bomb the Democratic Alliance and I never ever see you go against the ANC or whatever we see with corruption. I never see you go out
Maybe
and bomb the ANC.
you're not looking right. I go at the ANC all the time.
All the time.
Remember, I'm told by many people that I don't like black people for the amount of times I've gone after the ANC. But truth be told, who is my government? The Democratic Alliance is my government.
In the Western Cape.
In the Western Cape, in the city of Cape Town.
Why do you want to unseat the Democratic Alliance then?
Have you seen the speed bumps where you live?
It's fantastic.
Fantastic. Have you seen the speed bumps?
Kallard River.
Have you seen the speed bumps where I live?
That's why I moved here, Fadiel.
Yeah, no, true. But my question to you is, why does the city of Cape Town give suburbs the type of speed bumps that we can only dream of? In Mitchell's Plain, we get crap. Have you seen how clean your roads are here? How many times a week did your dirt get picked up here? Look at where we live, where coloured people live, where coloured people struggle. I'll tell you why I go after the Democratic Alliance. Just today I was given a list of the intake of the fire department. 22 black Africans only, not a single coloured accepted. That is your DA. They are as bad as the ANC. They think nothing of us. We go after the DA because coloured lives matter.
It's not my DA. I just want to put it out there.
I never said anything.
You said that's my DA. But my neighbor here is black. My neighbor opposite is black. So this is Kallard River, but there's a mixture.
Nice and integrated.
Yes, very nice.
How it should be.
Yeah. So when we talk about areas, and obviously Mitchell's Plain in all these areas, there's obviously predominantly coloured areas. And I feel I moved from Bella, and you saw the video that I made about where we couldn't I couldn't get into the complex. It was taken over by the students, mostly black students. I have a belief system, from what I see of the post, that it's driven, or so it appears, by the EFF, and the post that those students made in social media where they said they will use the EFF and rally up, and colored people won't tell them what to do. Do you feel when colored people or black people move into colored areas, it is wrong? Do you think colored communities must stay the way it is? Because across South Africa, I've lived all over, Rustenburg, Joburg, Bloemfontein, and Kimberley, all over. And I always had black neighbors, white neighbors, and it's quite nice.
That's what happens when you have money.
It's not about money.
Listen, integration has to happen. We cannot forever live in a country where we have clusters. Black clusters, colored clusters, white clusters. Integration must happen. Okay. And this is part of the reason why we fight. Because under the Democratic Alliance, they will ensure that integration does not happen in the suburbs.
Why do you think that's the case?
Right wings. The DA is the right wing.
The right wing for white monopoly? Or
of course.
Okay. So,
listen, how can you ask me a question like Alan Zilla said, there aren't enough qualified coloreds in this country, but she employs white matriculants. How can you question that when Marius Koen, the mayor of Saldanha, the DA, white man mayor of Saldanha, says that coloreds are not qualified for management? How can you question that? The Democratic Alliance is racist. It is right wing. And it has no time for us.
I spoke to JP Smith the other day, and I asked him about the leadership of the DA that's white, and he alluded to his a rainbow nation of appointments. He used Dan Plato, which is obviously now
Dan Plato is white.
Dan Plato is not white. But what I'm saying to you is now, right? And I told him the leadership, the structure of the leadership is unfortunately white. Do you think the DA is going to do well in the coming elections?
I hope not. I hope colored people open their eyes. You know what? They can talk all about integration and they can tell us how diverse they are. But look at their management. Their top management's all white. Every campaign manager in this country, I think there's like 100 campaign managers in the country for the DA for this election coming. They are all white. These people don't believe that people like us can manage. They don't believe that people like us can supervise. They don't believe that people like us can innovate. We are here to prove them wrong.
Okay, so are you saying that you're going to counter offer the white leaders or campaign managers in the Western Cape predominantly, and you have a colored campaign manager, obviously Nigel? You think he's going to do a better job then?
No. Okay. In Delft, without money.
In Delft,
we gave them money for their money with our first election. Those were colored boys doing the running, colored boys doing the work, colored boys doing the thinking, and we matched this white think tank without a cent. They bought that election. They know this.
Why do you think you guys won or came close to winning in Delft? What do you think you guys did differently compared to the other political parties that also, I call it a tender because I call a political party a company?
Well, you got a point. That's what it is.
Okay.
But I'd like to counter that. You can't say the same about us. Anyway, how did we do it? We told our truth. We opened our eyes.
What is your truth? What is your story?
Death, gangs, jail, unemployment, hockeys. That's our truth. We told our people that they deserve better, and they listened.
We had a flood in the week now, where the people that's immigrating to Western Cape, they put up hockeys, and there were a lot of the hockeys under the water, and the lady was throwing out the water with a bucket and it's just coming back. Now, some of the areas you can't build there, you can't. So land grabs obviously happened within the lockdown period. And what do you feel about land? If you're now going to be successful, going to Parliament, the big warehouse, what do you think about land grabs, and how do you feel about land?
I don't know why you're scared of calling a spade a spade. It's not a land grab, it's land theft.
Land theft.
You know, these are people that own land elsewhere. They want to have land in 2 provinces. Okay. They want to have a house in 2 provinces. While the Aboriginal, local, first inhabitants of the land own nothing. It's theft. These people need to go home. Under CCC government, no one from the Eastern Cape will receive a house before a local. It won't happen.
Okay.
Under CCC government, all available council land will be returned to the people that were thrown off in 1976. 3 months after our councillors sit down, their first brief will be land. Land and nothing else.
Okay. So, government wants to disown land in certain, obviously farming in all those areas. My take is it's about water. Because most of these farms got their own dams and they sit with more water than government if you go and check all the dams. So I believe that wars will be fought over water. Just to get back to your point, you previously said now we've got black people immigrating to Western Cape, and you said in some of your posts that your party is for everyone. It's not predominantly a colored party. If you're going to send the black people back to where they come from the Eastern Cape or wherever areas, is it not the same as what Gayton say? He's going to send the illegal immigrants home.
Well, first of all,
not also
I want to make it clear, I don't know at which point I said anything of what you said. Okay. This is a colored interest party. We are unashamed.
Okay.
That's number one.
So it's for the colored people.
For the colored people.
The colored men, sir.
Secondly,
colored.
I want to make it clear.
Okay.
We are not going to send anyone home. They're going home on their own accord. They will go home when the services stop. They will go home when the jumping the queue stops. And they will go home.
Okay.
The illegal immigrants must go home.
Okay.
They must be deported. Never, ever in my life have I seen, and I've worked on building sites across the country, have I seen a Nigerian go to work. Never. They are not here to work.
What are they doing here?
Selling drugs, prostituting. And now you can call me xenophobic if you like, but you need to call me wrong.
Okay, with the drugs, talking about the drugs, there were some people when that post the live that you made, where you actually resigned. Some people alluded to the fact that you were on drugs and you were highly emotional. Were you on drugs?
Me, 14 years ago, yes.
14 years ago.
14 years ago, your cell phone would have gotten missing. Okay. You know what, people can say what people want to say, but the problem I have with this is all you people do is say. What do you actually do?
Okay. As a colored party, we have a big problem with drugs, alcohol abuse in the community. I have a personal problem with being called Colored with a C. Your party's name is Cape Colored Congress, Colored with a C. Why did you guys decide to go with that name? Because I felt that you should have. I love the Gatvol brand, and I know it's the label that drive this force. Why didn't you guys rather, attack that thing? Because there's no one is talking about Colored with a C.
Boss, let me tell you something.
I want this thing to be dissolved.
Let me tell you
Must
something.
be cancelled.
No matter what we name this thing, there would have been a problem with it. Whether we call it the Colored with a K, the Koi would have said no. Whether we call it the Koi, the Colored would have said no. Whether we call it what, there would have been a problem. You know what your problem is?
What's my problem?
You have a problem from the outside. If you wanted to have sway with the naming of the party, you should have joined us then. Because it was a discussion.
Alright, but I would have been one person that would have voiced my opinion. Are you, as a leader of the CCC, are you, because I read between the lines and all the messages that the people post on social media, are you a dominant factor like a Julius Malema that dictates like a Hitler? This is, even though there's policies and procedures, we dictate, I say this is the way we're going? Or allow you the people in your boardroom?
There's always place for discussion. I'm not a dictator. Whatever people who don't know me say. My own kids don't even take me seriously. I don't bark orders. We sit, we consult, we think, we argue, we agree, we move.
Okay. When you guys ran for local, for council, especially the one by-election, yeah. Obviously you did it out of pocket, not right? You said in one of the posts, if you had the money to drive, you would have gotten better results. Now, you were registered only in the Western Cape, and then you deregistered, and then you registered again for national. I want to ask you, where did you get the money to do that? Because I think it's about 1.3 million.
2,500 rand.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Is that what you pay?
That's what you pay. In
So-
order to register nationally, we had to deregister locally. That's how it works. That's the process.
Okay.
But then again, people jump on the bandwagon and do all types of things. And because they don't understand the process, like you just thought it was 1.3 million.
Yeah,
It's 2,500 rand to register a party. I tell you what, all of those of you who think you can do better, 2,500 rand. Go register your party. Let's see each other at the polls.
Okay. Gayton Mckenzie is also running national and in the Western Cape.
Gayton Mckenzie is a dear friend of mine. Trust me when I tell you. I have much admiration for the man. I have much respect for what he's achieved.
Okay.
Right now we are in competition. That's what it is. This is politics.
Okay.
You see, not everybody is going to like the CCC. So those that don't like the CCC are free to vote for the PA. Those that don't like the PA are free to vote for the CCC. Unfortunately, we are fishing in the same pool, and it's a very small pond.
Okay.
So yes, we are in competition. We will not like each other very much for the next few months. But once the votes are counted, I expect him to give me a call and tell me, well done, Fadiel. Take me a donor in the cup. Take your donor in Zelburg. Let's move on.
Okay. Angus Mckenzie?
Yeah,
Gayton
what?
Mckenzie? Angus Mckenzie, how do you feel about Angus?
This is a comedy show.
It's not a comedy show.
Oh, no.
I asked Angus to ask you to have a debate. It would be yeah. It's is what it is.
My
Do you think
family,
Angus must move over to your party or to Gayton's PA party?
my family would never allow me to debate Angus because we have a clear bullying policy. We don't bully the weak. I just want to put that out.
So
we
is
don't
Angus
bully,
weak?
We don't bully the weak.
Why do you say he's weak?
Man has no spine. None. There's no spine. There's no backbone.
How? Explain yourself.
Puka, have you seen the decisions that the DA makes? Do you see people like Angus him coming forward and saying, whoa, this is going to have a negative impact on my community? The man has no spine.
What type
He
of
was opposed
decisions?
to Angus 12 years ago when he was still with Coke.
Okay.
We're criticizing the closure of the schools in the colored areas, blah, blah, blah. But that was before he discovered he was actually white.
And
Nowadays, Angus defends that type of action. No, this is right. You don't understand. What Debbie Schaffer is doing is right. It's in the interest of colored children. It's in your interest that you don't go to school and become a drug addict, a gangster, and a jailbird. Do you understand?
Are you saying they don't want us to go to school and learn?
What? Don't you get it?
No, I'm asking you.
Every year when the department runs out of money, year on year they close the colored school. They close it. Have you seen the condition of our schools? They don't want us to learn because their success depends on our failures.
I think.
And on Angus joining the CCC, he is welcome to join as an ordinary member because we see nothing special in him.
Is it?
Yes.
I don't think he will take highly of that. I mean, he's got a job.
That sounds like an Angus problem, huh?
Listen, you talk
He's a
about
part-time
school.
counselor. Wait, he also said he was a part-time counselor.
I mean, the first time I spoke to you a couple of years ago, you said you are an activist. Now you're a politician.
I'm a political activist.
Are you now a political
I was a
activist?
hybrid.
Hybrid. You are Fabas.
Can't you see?
The other day you had a nice fancy suit on. You look proper.
Forced me into that bloody.
They forced you. You don't want that. So when you go to Parliament, you're gonna go like this.
Yeah.
Like a slip
You know what? I am what the situation requires. When the situation requires me to speak English, it is what I will
Yeah,
speak. When
okay.
the situation requires me to close the road, that is what I will do. If
Yeah.
I need to wear a tie to get the job done,
Yeah.
I will wear a tie.
Okay.
I do not like a tie, but I will wear it.
What are you gonna do for the colored men, sir?
Whatever we can. Improve our schools, clean our areas, give us better sports amenities, get the colored kids into. Are you not watching social media?
I'm not.
Have you seen how we force colored boys into work? Hey? How we stop projects because there's no coloreds working here. Get out of our area, you come back when you employ our people. That's what we do. That's what no one else is prepared to do. Whatever lip service they offer,
Okay.
they can't match our actions. Whatever slogans they scream, whatever criticism they have of us, nobody has done for the colored people what we have. We've housed colored people. We've forced them into jobs. We've closed departments. We don't have seats in council, but we've got accomplishments to show.
Yeah, but I mean, you just now said you did all these things for the last, obviously, a couple of years, isn't it? But now, previously you said they appointed 22
And we are going to take that on.
black people at the fire department.
But I don't have a seat in council.
Okay.
So I don't know what's happened, what decisions are being made behind closed doors. That is why CCC needs to get in there because we will never allow that. We will never allow that.
when you guys get in, now this is one of my biggest concerns. When I look at the Patriotic Alliance, I look at Good Party, I look at all these other parties, right?
What about ICOSA? Randy's going to get upset. Mention ICOSA.
Are you going to take Randy back?
Randy now will always be my bully. Wherever he goes,
like
I wish him the best. If he wants to come here, we will give him the best. He's welcome here. Randy's heart beats for his community. Whatever disagreements we have, those are our disagreements.
Okay.
It will never spill into public.
There's this concern that just before October, if the elections obviously going to continue, you guys must put the names up, number 1 to number whatever, and then there's going to be a migration of people joining PA, Good, all these parties. Then they're going to say, hey, I'm not getting anywhere, I'm going to jump. There's a lot of people, and people are posting on social media photos. They stand there, they take photos of, they grab your party members, and PA grab your party members, and Good, and it's just people moving up and down. I think Alfred, the other day I saw him move from Good, he left Good and he went back. They asked him, and then he went back, and then he jumped now to PA.
Wait, let me explain something to you about it.
This thing is...
Wait, I want to explain before
people,
you... No, it's easy to get confused with that, bro.
Okay.
He was CCC.
No, I don't want to talk about him specifically.
I want to speak about him. Can I speak about him?
I'm just using him as an
Wait,
example.
we're going to get the others now. I just want to talk about the joke first.
Alright.
So is that CCC?
Fadiel is a comedian.
Yes.
Comedian.
I tell him to resign. I told him. Go.
Oh, you told him to leave?
That man is too arrogant. He doesn't belong here. We don't. This is a place for humble workers. There's no arrogance here.
So you fired him?
Yes, he joins. Or he's said to join the EFF.
Okay.
He's then said to join the NFP. Then he joins ICOSA.
Okay.
Then he goes to Good. Then he leaves Good. Then he goes back to Good. Now he's at the PA. That's 7 parties or 6 parties at my count in 1 calendar year. This guy is not a politician. He collects political sweaters, man. On the points of the others.
Probably puts it up.
The situation we have right now is people don't get what they want and they leave.
Okay.
They all claim to come for the people.
What do they want?
Bro,
what do they want?
Do I look intelligent? I don't read minds. What I can tell you is when they don't get what they came for, they leave.
Okay.
Here's the thing. Every one of our members that leaves, it's an event at the next party. Look who we signed. We've got Selwyn from CCC. We sign people from other parties every day.
Is it?
But because we don't want anyone
How
to
strong
look,
is your
can I
party now?
finish?
Okay, sorry.
We don't want anyone to look weak. I'm not going to say we've just signed Selwyn from Good. No! That's not what we're
I'm not from Good.
No, I'm saying.
Okay.
So in short, what we're saying is, guys, what we're saying, guys, whoever feels that the CCC is no longer for him, you are more than welcome to leave. But this party grows. As far as membership, we are hitting 100,000 signed up members by the end of this month.
100,000?
100,000.
Is that, you think, is okay, Auntie Pet got 70 and she got, I think, 3 blockies at...
Two at National.
2, yeah. Alright, so that...
Not that it benefits the people, because I haven't heard her say anything about it.
Yeah, we will talk to Auntie Pet when the time is right. Or to Sean always...
Auntie Pet will never meet you.
She will?
I said, no, I'm not going to go to it.
She heard about the water. It was raining the whole week. It was flooding. Listen, I wanted to ask you. I mentioned you were the comedy. Now,
I'm a funny guy, man.
Yeah. Now I met with.
Ugly always have to be funny.
Yeah.
Salvino.
It was for Salvino. I met with Carl Weber. I think 2 days ago. I was on his roof. There's a small issue there, and I feel so sorry for the actors, the singers, the musicians, the comedians. Auntie Serchi passed away the other day. You know, she also had a difficult life. All these actors in our country have a difficult time. They are suffering. They don't have work. They close just like that. They close the alcohol industry. Now, when we look at this, is CCC a Muslim party?
No.
Is it?
No.
I'm just asking because I read it a lot where people accuse the CCC of being.
Can I tell you what the biggest problem in the Kallard community is?
Differences.
We don't see the similarity. Oh, you're a Fadiel is slums. Oh, you're a kijk Fadiel. Nee, Selwyn het steil hare. Hy het groen oë. Hy ry 'n Mercedes. Hy dra nie Jordans nie. This is why we are where we are. Okay. So whoever accuses us of being anything.
Okay, that's why I'm asking so that you can say
Maya?
it is, yeah.
Maya? I just want to tell you about this once And I didn't realize that Graham and Winston, both of them pastors, saw this event, but you can confirm it with him.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, Winston is not even with us anymore, but even he can confirm it. We went to Worcester and we stopped at the garage in the N1.
Alright.
And there were people, there was like a collection table there for some missionary business.
Okay.
Right? I don't know that they also got out the car. But I took 20 rand and I gave it towards a missionary business.
Okay.
And
Christian missionary. Okay.
And I said, this is what I said to the girl. I said, I am a Muslim, but I'm a big fan.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of what you do.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Because he's not. This is Cape Town. This is Cape Town. You know what we are? We are
mixed
interbred. You know, I've got Christian grandmother.
Yeah.
It's just how it goes here.
We need to have tolerance.
Anybody that seeks to exploit. Like that other idiot now, the other day from Isaac Manuel from the West Coast.
He's an idiot.
But yeah, hy praat van 'n klomp slamse en goed en goed. Dis ek sê leiding moes toe
Klap of
policeman klap.
Touching because of coronavirus, irrespective, you must first sanitize and you must
surgical
sanitize.
gloves.
I wanted to ask you now, Gayton is a lot in the church and they're doing their thing. Do you think it's right what he's doing, using the church platform to perpetuate a message of...
I'm not going to accuse the man of using the church.
Okay, I'm just asking for
what I'm going to say is the following.
What are you going to say?
If the clergy in this country is as strong as some people think it is, every Christian in the country would vote ACDP, but they don't. Every Muslim in the country would be voting Al Jamaa, but they don't. You see, the problem with the clergy in this country is that it's dead. Where I live on the Cape Flats, if someone gets shot tonight, his name is in all probability Muhammad. The shooter's name is in all probability Abdullah. There's something wrong. There's something wrong. The clergy are not addressing the issue. So we will focus on the grassroots issues. We will focus on the man in the street. I'm not saying that if you are converted or if you are sheikh, please don't support us. I'm saying please support us. But what we're saying is that, guys, at the end of the day, however we're doing things religiously in this country, 3,500 of our children are going to die this year. We got to change something.
Personally, when it comes to the church, and everyone, whether you're Christian, Muslim, a Jew, you have an obligation and responsibility, but also the free will to go and support any political party. That's the beautiful freedom that we have. I don't think it is right for politicians to step into a church and campaign from the platform, because that's what it intended was, initially was for. What we now find is, you saw the Cyril Ramaphosa closing, he stepped up, he said, in the name of government, and that was for me a Moses slap in the face. He never mentioned that he consulted, he said he consulted spiritual leaders, he's consulted some Sangomas, and he consulted with his team, and he consulted with the scientists. And then he just closed everything down. Now the industry is closed down, the alcohol industry, the restaurants can't trade the way they used to, because it's affecting actors, singers. These people are saying, oh, they're not being assisted by government. 100%. I mean, what are you guys are people the politicians go out and they give food parcels.
No, they don't. They'll do it in elections a year. They don't do it now.
No, I see on social media food parcels being put out there. Come, fetch your food.
It's sick. I'll tell you why. Two things. You say such a lot. You know what I mean. After 2 beers, you say a lot.
2 beers.
You know, I'll start with the last point.
All that's left.
Food and food aid is a problem because government has run out of money. The CCC has been feeding and running feeding schemes now for over a year. Over a year. We didn't save our resources for elections. I think that it's an ill-conceived idea from any political party. I'm not attacking anyone here. But to be handing out food for votes is essentially taking advantage of people's starvation. That's number one. Number two, on the issue of the clergy, if a pastor wants to offer his church to any politician to speak, it is up to the pastor. If the congregation feels the need to sit down and listen, that's up to the congregation. Because they also have the democratic right to get up and walk. If they don't, that's okay with me also. But I do feel that there must be a clear separation between church and state. You see, the church should be part of our civil organizations. They should take on the issues that count.
And not the political parties.
The church
they
and the
focus
mosque,
on creating jobs.
there we go. The church and the mosque both oppose abortion.
Alright.
Huh? In theory.
Okay.
But they don't fight government stance on it. Do you understand what I'm saying?
So they approve it.
No, they approve it by silence.
Okay.
They don't fight it.
Do you
Now,
approve abortion?
I say this as a man. I will never carry a child.
Okay.
I will never breastfeed a child. So I will never take the opportunity to tell a woman what to do with her body.
Okay. It's not your place to say. But from a CCC, political party perspective,
The CCC stance is clear. Let the woman choose.
gay and lesbians, what's your take on gay and lesbians?
I love them.
Okay.
One of my best friends is gay. My bro, did you know how much fun you can have with a couple of buffies at the party?
Coolest guys, no?
No, bro, the jokesters don't stop. I hope Opie go and sing. You Opie,
must say sorry to the gays and lesbians.
Everyone. Now you mustn't say sorry, man.
Huh?
You must first try to go to a party where there's a couple of guys. Then you change your mind. You go home, you tell your wife, "I never get one laugh but I buffy."
You can't go to the party because it's been closed, and rightfully so. We were social distancing and all these things, but parties are closed. There's a ripple effect, obviously, on people that's losing their jobs, that's losing their homes.
Mania, it's gonna
losing
get
their
worse.
cars.
It's gonna get worse because.
Why do you think it's getting worse? Put Corona aside,
Because of our government?
because of the decisions that's being made.
Listen,
Why do you guys not speak up?
listen. Cyril Ramaphosa is made by the elite. He's
Which
controlled
elite?
by the elite. The
The white
1%.
elite? The black elite?
The 1%.
Who's the 1%? Ruperts?
Yeah.
So are you saying that the ANC or
Every
the new
decision,
ANC is
every,
being
there
bought?
is no more ANC. Every decision that Cyril Ramaphosa makes will be in the interest of the elite,
Okay.
not the poor.
I think it's in the interest of the banks, because the banks are actually running the world. They are the real slave drivers because they enslave us through systems.
That's right, the elite.
So, and who's running the DA according to Fadiel?
Same
Adams?
people.
The
You
same
see,
people.
if a man like an Oppenheimer gives away 99% of his wealth, his lifestyle doesn't change.
Because he's got too much money.
He's got too much money. He's still got a private jet. He can still buy any building in the world.
So,
what I'm saying is there's something wrong with the system. There's something wrong with the system and the people who control it.
do you think when you step into parliament, you can change the system or challenge the system to the point where you at least get some sort of satisfaction for the people in the communities?
Look, the left wing in this country is dead. It's long been dead.
Who's the left wing?
The socialists,
Who's the socialist?
they aren't any. So,
Because this capitalist is left.
bro, as long as there are 100% capitalists sitting in the walls of power, nothing will ever change for the poor. What we need is a socialist handful that will raise their voice and say no, not in the name of the poor.
So you're going to rally the people when they support you to go and change these things so that people can get jobs.
Look, let us see how many votes we get. I can tell you now that every colored party that has come into election has come with the intention of winning it and failed badly. This is our first attempt. We do it without money.
Are you confident though?
As confident as I can be. We've worked for this. We've put a lot of work in. We've put a lot of effort in. We've changed many lives. Let us see if those people will be as true to us as we are to them.
Do you feel any regrets?
About what? I have many regrets. Mostly in people. Other than that, I'm okay.
Okay. You regret resigning? You think that
Yes.
impacted you?
Yes, I have many regrets. Mostly in people.
And now you need to make up for it, eh?
I want to ask Selwyn a question before we go.
Yes.
I want to know why he's come after CCC with a hockey stick at every opportunity. I've never seen this man go after any colored party like he comes after us. I have an idea why, but I'm not going to put anything. I want to know from him.
Okay.
Why are you on our case? There are parties making bigger flops than us, and you just stay quiet about it.
Which parties?
I'm not going to mention names.
Listen, I've been focusing on Zuma for the last couple of days.
Zuma's not a party.
Zuma is the party.
No.
Zuma is the brand. Zuma's not going to prison. I just read now before you came.
If you listen
that they
to me,
postponed that thing to
if
July.
you listened to me 4 days ago, I said he's not going to prison. But now the question that I have for you, and you're not answering it.
I'm
Jacob Zuma
gonna
is not a
answer
political
you.
party. He's not
Okay,
a political
I'm
entity.
gonna-
He's a politician. What I'm saying is, why do you come after the CCC
You must-
like there's no tomorrow?
You must stay woke, and you must listen to what I'm putting out there so that you can understand what I'm thinking and what people like myself, what we discuss.
Fortunately, there aren't many people like you, but you're still not answering the question.
The question is, the question that you're asking me is, why am I coming after you? I'm not coming after you.
Sure.
I made a video when I saw what you did when you resigned.
No man, you're talking about one video in isolation. I'm talking about your last 3 or 4 months.
Okay, no, the other video I just said, you see,
another video.
You see, which one?
No, I'm sorry.
No, I was just making fun of everyone.
That's the point. You don't mention anyone. The first you come to criticizing any other political party, and I don't know. That's it. But these parties out there
like
flopping. I'm not going to mention names.
The Democratic Alliance.
I'm not going to mention
I spoke to JP the other day.
Who's JP?
JP is from the Democratic Alliance.
He's nobody.
Okay. Who do you want me to speak to, Fadiel? Because are you going to pay me to speak about these things? Because I'm not getting paid.
We don't pay for votes.
I just raise my opinion.
We don't pay for airtime. We don't pay for interviews. What I'm saying is there are many political parties out there.
Yeah.
But the one party you've criticized the most and criticized over nothing.
And
I let it go.
What is the criticism? What are you talking about? Tell me the actual thing that's
go watch your own news feeds over the last 3 months and see.
No,
what I'm saying.
What is bothering you?
Tell me what's bothering you. Listen to me. We haven't failed our people.
Okay.
Not?
Alright.
We haven't succeeded in everything we tried, but we have not failed our people. Everybody else is doing a very good job of failing Kallard people. Am I right or am I wrong?
I think
I would like to see you expend that same energy that you do coming after us, going after everyone. I mean, it's full fairness. When I flop, come after me. I'm fair game.
Yeah.
But give me a chance to flop first.
You did resign, and that's why I spoke about it. You gave me the content to speak about it. But whatever I read and I decide I'm going to talk about this, I talk about it. And there's so many content I can't speak about everything.
This guy should try politics. He doesn't answer the question. He talks for 2 minutes. He says
but
nothing.
you're not giving me the example where you feel.
Meneer?
Hoekom voel jy ek het jou te nagekom?
I thought you knew because we had a half an hour discussion about this. I kind of thought I put it all on the table now.
I don't know. I promise you.
See what happens after 2 years.
That's the only beer I could.
Almost 9 o'clock. You know, I respect the curfew.
I respect.
I respect. I don't know where he gets alcohol from, guys. We don't even any.
We had beer. I will never do that ever again. That was last year. You guys are selling for 45 rand and 50 rand. You're going to hell. God is gonna punish you. And I will tell Cyril Ramaphosa, listen, my brother, I respect you. We've been friends for a couple of years. I've always supported you. And if I can go after you, I will do to the next as well. And listen, we are friends.
Listen,
and
I'm standing here tonight laughing with you, even though you came after me.
Yeah.
You know, we don't know grudges here. What I'm saying is, you know what? We're not the only party in the country.
Maar is lekker om van julle te praat. Is lekker om van die EFF te praat. Is lekker om van die DA te praat. Is lekker om van die the other guys is not relevant. I don't see them going anywhere. Where are they going? It's irrelevant. I'm not talking about
your brother might feel offended.
The PA. Oh, let's talk about the PA. Come on. Zo bra. Gayton is zo bra. But you want to talk about? Oh, you don't feel I speak about Gayton and their party. And I told you it's coming.
No,
bro, it's coming. We can talk about it now. Kom haal jou kos.
Don't do that. If you want to talk about the PA, do me a favor, talk to Gayton. Don't in front of me. No, don't talk to me.
I will talk to Gayton.
Okay, cool.
You will probably see this. But kom, ons braai nou hout gaan, ons gaan steeds braai.
Ek gaan nou like kom maar ons braai. Notice guys that I don't swear once a night.
Okay, so Fadiel's actual problem, guys.
That's not my problem.
I never make a video about Gayton.
No, there's a Freedom Front Plus. There's the NFP.
But they are. Where's the Freedom Front going? Peter Marais. Come on,
I'm saying that I just find it amazing that you never go after anyone but us. That's all I'm saying.
No.
I'm not the only one that's made that observation.
Look, you've been blocked for many months. That's why you create all these names. Fadiel Adams, Fadiel Adams, Fadiel Adams, Ben Adams, Fadiel Adams got Gatvol and then Resigned Adams. And these are all the so you there's a gap, man. There's a gap where you data is a problem. I don't know. All I'm saying to you is, I told you, it's coming, Gayton. It's coming. You must come haal jou kos, my kinders.
I want to introduce. All your
Steffi.
The man's got him a Steffi?
Yes. He's black, he's white.
His name is Zuzu.
Julius.
Julius. The dog likes me more than
He's a very naughty dog, and he doesn't listen to me.
That's why we call him Julius.
Julius is like a block of water.
Don't lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
How can you do that?
I was very disappointed.
So what do you think about the Zuma thing before I go?
Zuma is not ever going to go to prison. I feel if they put Zuma in prison, they must go after guys like Pakbota and those guys.
One of two things is going to happen. I agree with you. No, I agree with you because
it's not right.
No.
I think they must first go after the banks.
Look,
because they facilitated these payments, and I think Zuma didn't steal enough. Not enough, because a lot of these guys they steal, but the money that he stole, if you look at what the other fools did, there's far more. So this small thing, and their hands are full to just go and try and figure this thing out, and they're spending more millions to figure it out.
You know what the Zuma thing has proven to me? That this country needs someone else. Cyril Ramaphosa is not the man to lead this country. I pray that when the ANC goes to conference next year, because whether we like it, whether we don't, the ANC will still be leading this country next year.
You think so?
Yes.
Our abusers.
But I pray that the ANC gives us someone useful, someone with a wider view, with a more direct approach, with two healthy testicles that will stand up against the wrongs being perpetrated against the poor in this country. Right. Have a good night, guys.
No, I'm not done. Last
he's not wearing his mask.
He's
in my face.
He's here. No, you got the mask. The last thing I want to comment also, ek het nou 'n mooi exit speech gemaak. We're not done in 2 minutes. I pray that the God of the heavens rise a man up, no, to tell these fools. I call them fools running these companies. I call the political parties companies as a business. And that's why people jump into the parties, because they want to get in. Dandas is very nice. But God will raise a man up to tell these fools, so say the Here, and you stop now. If you don't stop, this will happen to you. The same that happened those years in Egypt. Now, these guys are not Pharaoh. My friend Elray actually, told me the script, and I take it from Elray. But I wanted to ask you a last question. Duduzane Zuma is gonna rise up. It's a fantastic thing. When you're successful in the Western Cape, are you going to join Duduzane Zuma? There's a lot of.
I will never join the ANC. Ever.
Not the ANC, because
what I can tell you. Let me tell you something.
Zuma's not a party.
Let me tell you something.
Duduzane is a brand.
Let me tell you something. But he's contesting the ANC presidency.
So you don't have any communication with Duduzane Zuma?
What?
Do you have any communication with Duduzane Zuma?
I do. I've got communication with many people, with Aaron Wynn. I have communication with JP Smith.
Okay.
I have communication with Nazir Paulson. I have communication with many people.
Nazir is moved for block.
But what I'll say to you is the following.
I said to Nazir, he's colored, and he said now he's black, and he wasn't happy.
Black Indian. Anyway, I think that Duduzane Zuma is a very smart young man. And he's young, plenty young.
He's a smart, rich young man.
Yeah, he's a smart, rich young man. But you know what? A man's wealth doesn't bother me. What he does with his wealth doesn't bother me. All I'm concerned about is his contribution as a person. What can you contribute? What can you give? What can you do? How can you make things better? Let's be blunt about it. No one can do worse than what Cyril's doing.
What is Duduzane Zuma offering you?
What kind of question is that?
I'm not going after the CCC.
Oh, because I don't speak badly of him.
Yes.
I also don't speak badly about Julius Malema.
How do you feel about Julius Malema? He's got a nice.
Julius Malema is.
He's got a nice a union running.
Julius Malema is a necessary irritation.
Do you think he's getting paid because he's pushing the Russia vaccine?
See, let me tell you two things. I don't care about his finances. It's none of my business. I wish people would stop bringing money into everything. But firstly, Malema is a necessary irritation, and he's an effective one. When he wanted fees to fall, fees fell. Okay. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. He's done things that will benefit people going forward. Benefit poor people going forward. And as long as that is the focus, and I don't 100% think that is his focus, but look, he gets things done. Okay. If you understand what I'm saying. Yeah. Like, if we had more politicians who get things done, I wouldn't be standing here tonight. Okay. The problem that we have is, where's Al Malema? The one that's going to go out there.
I thought that was you.
I'm not
Kallard
that.
alleen.
Nah, I'm not that man.
So what are you going to do in Parliament?
You know what?
If he gets things done, how are you going to get things
I'm
done?
going to keep the seat warm for him. You
Okay,
see,
how are you going to get things done?
What we need is a colored boy that is prepared to put all on the line and say, you know what, my people need this, and they're getting it today.
Do you think you that guy or Gayton
I'm
is
not
that
that
guy?
guy. Gayton's not that guy.
Is Sean August that guy?
Who's Sean August?
From the good?
Oh, Sean my brother.
He's good.
No, Sean is not that man.
Sean August.
You see, what you need,
Sean August.
we're going to need
In
something
July.
special, man. We're going to need part warrior, part orator, part writer, part fighter, part activist, part politician. It's almost a unique individual.
It's a mixed masala pot.
Yeah.
So you've got the good party, you've got the PA, you've got the CCC, you've got Freedom Front, Peter Marais, you've got the ANC, the EFF, all these companies.
You didn't
right?
mention I co-sir again.
Sorry, Randy, man. The 2 beers. But listen, yeah, it's there in the mind. It's there, Randy. So if you bring this to the table and they bring that to the table, they bring that to the table, I believe, everyone asks me the whole time, who are you gonna vote for? I believe, listen guys, I believe if the CCC owns this ward, and that person is doing his job, you vote for that person in that ward. If the DA owns there and they do their job, you vote for that candidate, not for the party, for that person. But now you've got all these jumpers. If the ANC is doing good in that ward, you vote for that person, not the party, for that individual, because inevitably he's doing his job, but he needs a track record. You guys don't have a track record. Yeah, what are you going to do?
How is that
if
a
you don't
negative?
have any experience?
How is that a negative when everyone else only has a track record of failure?
Failure.
We're the only people who don't have failure on our city.
I don't think they fail. I think just
They fail miserably.
They don't fail. They just don't do the job.
So, isn't that called failure?
It's not failure. It's not participating, and they're getting paid.
So non-performance
Just now,
is not failure.
like the actors, singers.
So if you drop someone on the roof and he sits on the roof and his suntans, do you pay him?
No, those guys must go.
Exactly.
They can't work there.
People must go.
But are you going to hold them accountable and let them go?
Meneer,
But they get the votes.
Meneer, let me tell you something. The CCC is a different breed of party. Our councillors will be required to have 20 house meetings per month. House meetings in your ward. In other words, by the time that your term 10 ends in 5 years' time, you will have done 1,000 house meetings. You will have visited almost every house in your ward. Do you understand? So you will know exactly what's going on. This auntie has a problem with drainage. This auntie has a problem with a tenant. This problem. If you understand what I'm trying to say,
Yeah,
we are a different breed of party.
Everyone is having meetings. They've got Zoom meetings now. But from the meeting, it needs to roll out. Action plans needs to be executed,
100%.
and that's what's happening.
100%. But the thing is, if you don't have a meeting, you don't know the need. So you go have your meetings, you come back to us, we sit with the need, we see how we can assist, and that's how it's going to work going forward. Guys, have a fantastic night. I need to get home before the
Fadiel Adams, guys, he was very Gatvol, but he came back.
Have you seen how fat Selwyn is getting? Night, guys.